Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Vince Argentine here with Hiro Koiso, coming to you live from Red Rock Harley Davidson. Hope everyone's having a great day. Thanks for stopping by and checking out what we've got going on. A lot of exciting stuff. 1 week left till Bonneville, and really what we all want to see and we want to know about, we've got here at the shop today. Hiro's been working really hard to get this thing ready to go, and we appreciate the time, Hiro. We want to just kind of take a look at what you got going on here.
So we just got this bike fired up just yesterday. So heading out the dyno next couple days and just get all the tuning done. So just to give you guys the grand tour of this motorcycle. So on this side we have the supercharger. So this is the Pro Charger. It's a C1R compressor, centrifugal supercharger. It looks like turbo, but it's driven by the two belts, like one here and one there. So it's a two-step up. It will give us 110,000 RPM, 25 to 27 pound of boost. So it's been working really well for us. So go around this side. So this is also a custom-made intercooler. Once the air compressed, it gets heated up. So this intercooler cools down some of the intake charge, then cold air goes into the motor. So air is going to be more dense, then make more power. The fuel system, also the custom. So we strongly felt that we need more than one injector per cylinder. So we built this plenum, designed and built this plenum that has extra injectors for each cylinder. So that's a secondary injector. It'll start working certain programmed RPM and throttle opening, so make sure engines get fed good fuel with a good boost pressure, so it makes more power.
Speaking of fuel, Hiro, I can't not notice we got a big canister here. What type of fuel are you running in this thing?
This is a spec fuel for Bonneville Motorcycle Speed Trials. Company called ELC. They bring the trailer to the event. So if you wanted to run and get the record certified in the gasoline class, you need to run the spec gasoline. So we ordered this from California just for getting the bike braking and the tuning. So it's rated about the 118 octane, about $40 a gallon. This thing about 5 miles per gallon under full power. So that's a really expensive fuel.
Yeah, not cheap to keep this thing going. Let's see what else we got going on the bike.
The cylinder head, the first thing you probably noticed, it's a real, nice bit piece. It's a racing program. It's going back to like a few years. So Team and Performance in North Carolina that designed and manufacture this cylinder head, but it's a configuration especially for this bike. So it's made out of a block of aluminum that they machined for their design. So it's nothing like proprietary design than just the modified existing casting. So that cylinder head and the inside locker box, there's some special alloy locker standards to make sure valve train is stable at the higher RPM. So valve trains, this is another thing we're using for this year. This is an exhaust valve. The intake valve, this is a 2 1/4. It's a big valve. This is a titanium custom made. This year, we went one step further. This is made out of the Inconel. So it's more heat resistance. We run high speed for like a long period of time. So it's to make sure valve train survive. So a stronger valve train, stronger valve spring, that we've been seeing that evidence of top pin flexing, like after race teardown, they see some witness marks to it. So to fight that, we designed a new cylinder. This is made out of a dark style iron. It's like a very hard iron machined out from the round. So inside, like outside fin you're looking at to inside is a whole one piece dark style iron that literally you can stick the magnet to the fin. So that plus the cylinder studs on the head bolt, we've been working with Jim's. Jim's working with ARP, which is a manufacturer of the studs, good hardware. So it's been a 6 months process to get the cylinder studs and the head bolt done. But those two things, the new cylinder and the head bolt, I have no doubt the top end is going to be a whole lot more solid.
Very nice, very nice. Hero, talking about cylinders, what displacement is this motor?
This motor is based on the Jim's 135, so that's 135 cubic inches, 2.2 liter in metric.
Very nice, very nice. We were talking a little bit last week about some of the stuff that you've done to the bike that makes it easier to work on between passes and things like that make it easier to work on in the pits. I know you'd mentioned the brakes. You wanted to show us something this week. What do we got?
Yes. This is the brake system. So we have a dual caliper like mounted radially. So that's the cross makes this nice bracket. But we went to one step further because we changed the sprocket to change the top speed and gearing. They're part of the tuning on the Assault. But when we take the wheel off, we had to take all this hardware off. Then it has using the different sizes spacer. So we try to get as easy as possible for the crew to work on. So I put this quick connect coupler. So this is like a widely used MotoGPs and like high-end racing. So you can just squeeze and twist. Then you can disconnect the brake line without introducing any air or losing the fluid. So we can just leave the caliper on the rotor and disc and take the whole wheel off, then change the sprocket, then just put back, then connect. Then you don't have to bleed or fumble with multiple hardware.
Very cool, very cool.
So on this side, so everybody probably noticed this big white hose. So this is a crankcase ventilation, so-called breather. So we have the 4 different spots in the motor on the oil pan. It has a fitting to relieve the pressure built inside the motor. So running the 4 different pressure control valve, then get the evacuate crankcase pressure as much as possible. So that helps the oil to return the oil pump, oil tank, and the motor is gonna spin freer. So the other thing is the rear chain is this is came from Japan, the arcade. This is the same Harry's 530 size, but material on the side plates are the same material as like using for the GP racing. That you cannot see, but inside the primary chain is came from the same company, the RK XL. So they made us a special primary chain just for this bike. So there's a 2 prototype they made, and we got the both of them in the hand. So the last thing, this clutch, as a AIM makes them the CF2. You can see all the brass weight. So that's a centrifugal lockup they call. So the engine starts spinning, the centrifugal force pulling those brass away, then give it more pressure to the clutch. So it's called a centrifugal lockup. So that with that weight, should be able to handle like a 350 foot-pound torque.
350 foot-pounds of torque, man, impressive. Impressive. Hero, we got a lot of moving parts going on here, man. You are a true master, and we appreciate your time going over everything, showing us everything that you've done. We appreciate you guys stopping by. We've got 1 week left. We're going to check in with you one more time before Hero heads out. We want to say thanks again. Come and see us down here at Red Rock Harley-Davidson. And Hero, I'm hoping we can give these folks at home a treat because I know I want to. Can we fire this thing up?
Let's do it.